Today we're going to talk about 3 reasons why you should buy the Hollyland Lark 150 wireless mic kit and 2 reasons you shouldn't. Let's get into it. Alright, so first off, this is not going to be a full-on in-depth review. I will have some sample audio, I will have some tests in this video, of course, to supplement my talking points, but it's not going to be a full-on review. And if you want to see my overall decision on whether or not this is the go-to kit, then stick around to the end of the video. For now, let's get into the 3 reasons you should consider picking it up. The first reason is definitely this killer carry case. Now, this is a carry/charge case, so actually, just like with earpods, this case does hold extra charge. So while the units themselves, the transmitters and the receivers, might not have as much of a battery life as like the Rode kit, for example, you can put them back in here and then charge them up again. So if you're not using them for 6 or 7 hours in one go, then you can easily just pop them back in here and then charge them up all at the same time, which is great without the need for all the extra cables. Now that also means that when you do need to charge up this whole system, you just need one cable to plug into the case, and that will charge up the case itself as well as the receiver and 2 transmitters inside, all at the same time. The same goes for firmware updates. All you need is one cable. Now on top of that, when you take these out of the case, they automatically power on and then they will automatically pair up when you take them out. So there's literally like 3 seconds between taking these out and being able to use them. Granted, you have to mount it on your camera, but it's just so simple and quick and easy to use because of this case. So this is not a quiet location. We've got the ocean maybe 40 meters or so off to that side. We've got a road maybe 40 meters off to that side, and above that a train track. The train probably won't go by, they don't pass through all that often, but this is going to show you how well this can kind of pick up your voice, which being so close to your mouth in comparison to a very noisy environment. And also we've got this straight path behind me here. We're going to walk away. We've got these poles on the side of the path here that I've measured out. I can count off as I'm walking away how far away from the camera, from the receiver I am, and we'll measure how far away I can walk. This is supposed to be rated at about 100 meters in ideal conditions. As I turn my back and walk away, obviously my body is going to be between the transmitter and the receiver, so it's probably going to cut out a little bit sooner than that, but I think that's important because obviously you're going to be moving around and you might not always be looking directly at the camera. You might have this in your back pocket, where if you're facing the camera, still your body's between it. So starting out here is about 3 meters. I'll count it off 3 at a time as I walk away. So we're at 3 meters now, and now we're coming up to 6, and I'm just going to keep talking as I go. We're at 9 meters now. I'm just going to keep talking. We're at 12. I'm just going to keep counting so I don't forget the numbers. We're at 15 meters now, and now we're coming 75 meters from the camera now with direct line of sight. So we'll see again as we get to the computer with this to check it out, if my voice cut out, turned or not. But we're at 75 meters. The status light, I was back 100 meters. It seems like I had lost my connection. Of course, in this bright daylight, it's a little bit tricky to see that status LED, but it seems like I did lose my connection, and I wouldn't be surprised if I did. So again, this is going to be a general test. I can't test every single situation. I can't test every single environment, but I can do my best to test in something that I think is a fair assessment. How did it do? Now the second reason why I think you should consider this kit is because it does come with 2 actual external lav mics, clip-on wired lav mics that you can plug into their transmitter. Now, if you have the choice, I would say that the audio from the transmitter does sound a little bit better than the audio from the external mic that's included in the kit. It's pretty much true with all kit mics anyway. We'll give you a sample of that comparison in just a second. But the fact is that this does come with 2 external mics, and the Rode kit, for example, does not. Those are separate, and it's going to add on quite a lot to the price. Now, even though the audio is not anything amazing from these, the fact is that if you need a smaller mic, if you need a less in-your-face microphone than this being clipped onto your shirt here, then this is what you're going to go for. And they're not the smallest little lav mics in the world, but they are much smaller than this actual transmitter. So if you need that kind of setup, for whatever reason, you're good to go out of the gate with the Lark 150, whereas with other kits, you're probably going to need to buy those mics separately. So we're out here today to check out the audio quality of this kit, and right now obviously I'm using the built-in microphone that's in the transmitter. I do have the furry wind cover on there because there's a slight breeze here and there. Of course, now that I'm starting to talk, there's no breeze at all, but it's relatively quiet. There's some people in the distance, there's some birds chirping, but that's about it. So you can hear my voice, and obviously the mic is a little bit close. It's on the collar of my shirt here, and that's where a lot of people are probably going to use it, especially outdoors. If you're indoors and there's quieter environment, you can maybe move it a little bit further away, maybe down if you have like a buttoned up shirt between the second and third button, for example, but you get the idea, generally speaking. And we're going to draw some comparisons with the wired mic and also another wired mic that I typically use, just to see how they all compare to each other. But in terms of settings, I'll put it up on screen after I confirm, because these numbers always slip my mind, but on the receiver I have it set at 0, that I'm sure of. And the settings on my Sony a7S III are at 12, and that's pretty much where I put it typically when I'm recording with an average level of other mics and stuff. There's a truck in the background now. I guess we'll see how well it blocks out that surrounding noise. But let's switch over to the wired mic that comes with the kit now. Now I've switched over to the wired mic that comes with the kit, and well, I do expect that it's going to sound a little bit differently. The audio levels seem to be pretty similar between this and the built-in mic that's built into the transmitter. So if you're switching back and forth, you shouldn't have to worry too much about checking those levels or keeping an eye on those levels. They should be pretty consistent. Of course, now there's a motorcycle behind me, probably about 30 meters or so behind me. We'll see how much this picks that up compared to my voice. Probably not that much, but anyway. I do also want to mention now that, of course, I have the transmitter instead of on the front of my body clipped onto my back pocket. So technically my body is coming between the transmitter and the receiver, although I'm only a few meters away from the camera at this point. I also do want to mention though that I do have the Wi-Fi turned on my camera, so that way I can kind of check my framing here while I'm recording. And I do also have a wireless focus, a wireless follow focus with the controller right here because I'm using a manual lens. So those two things might be competing a little bit. I know there's technology in this kit to kind of frequency hop to find the cleanest channel, so that way it should be able to avoid interference and issues like that, but we'll see if having all that Wi-Fi literally right up where the receiver is causes any issues. So that's that. We'll switch over to another mic that I frequently use now, the Voice Technologies VT500. There's a light breeze now. We can see if it picks up much of an issue without having a furry windscreen on here. It's done. It was literally just a second, but let's get going. Okay, so now we've gone ahead and connected my VT500 lav mic, which I love using. It's a great mic, and we'll see just in terms of the audio quality how this compares to the built-in mic in the transmitter and also the included wired lav mic that comes in the kit. And of course, you're free to switch out any other 3.5mm mic. It should work no problem with this, which is great, has that flexibility, but they do include some mics in the kit for people who don't have anything. So we'll see how it all sounds in comparison with each other. Now last for this video, but definitely not the last point in general of why you might want to consider the Lark 150, for me, is these nice large physical control knobs you get on the receiver. And I say large, obviously the whole receiver itself is pretty small, but these are very large for something like this, and they are really nice and tactile. They have little kind of clicks as you turn them. You can push and click them. They're really, really nice knobs and very easy to get good control over your audio in a very intuitive way. I'd pick these over little tiny buttons any day. Now to balance that out, two reasons you might not want to consider the Lark kit, especially compared to what else is on the market, namely the Rode kit, which of course is very, very popular. Now the number one reason is that the Rode Wireless Go 2 has a huge advantage over this and a lot of other kits, of course, is that the fact that it has internal recording in the transmitters, internal backup recording. So if your signal drops out, even just for a second, you have that backup audio that you can use right in the transmitter, which is amazingly helpful. Now, they don't have any kind of memory card or anything in there. It's inbuilt memory, so you do have to plug it into your computer to get that audio off. Not the best workflow, but the fact is that it is there when you need it. And that's despite the fact that it is a very compact kit. The second reason I'm going to throw in here is that this receiver is a little bit large. Now, obviously it's not huge overall, but it is about double the size of one of these transmitters here. And the receiver on the Wireless Go 2 and also the Wireless Go 1 and some other kits on the market is the same size as the transmitter, so it's much smaller. And not only in width, but the fact that this might stick out a little bit more behind the camera if you are using the viewfinder compared to maybe the Rode Wireless Go. I don't have it here so I can compare exactly side by side, but these knobs might get in the way a little bit. Probably not a huge deal in most cases, but generally speaking, of course, it is smaller than this. It is going to be a little bit lighter weight than this, I think, and when you're going for something like a setup on a gimbal, for example, then maybe all that little bit of extra weight, extra size that you can shed is valuable. So as a bonus comment here, something I kind of already touched on a little bit is the fact that, yeah, the price is very similar, and depending on sales and stuff, one might be more or less expensive than the other between this and the Rode Wireless Mic 2, which is what I'd basically consider as the best alternative for the Lark 150. Keep in mind again that if you want to use external lav mics, they do have some included in the Lark 150 kit, but they do not with the Rode Wireless Go. So that's going to be an additional add-on price, and quite a hefty one at that, which will definitely bring the Lark 150 into the better price range when you compare it like that. Also, Lark 150 does have single transmitter kits, different ways that you could save money if you don't necessarily need the whole 2 transmitter kit. So is the Lark 150 worth it or not? I will say it is a good kit for sure, but I think overall I'm gonna have to go with the Rode Wireless Go 2 just because of that internal recording. Mainly that, to be honest with you, but the fact that it comes in at a similar price with 2 transmitters, internal recording, possibly debatably better sound in the built-in mics. I'd have to do a side-by-side test to compare them, but maybe a slightly better interface in terms of what it looks like on the receiver compared to this. This is also very, very good, but apples and oranges maybe. I will miss these physical control knobs on the Lark 150, but again, overall, the backup recording is huge. Plus, they're a similar price, and Rode is, well established in the microphone community. Of course, Hollyland has great experience with wireless, but they're new to the microphone game. And so I think that, at least with this generation, Rode is still winning out. And that would probably be my overall recommendation, unless you do need a kit with external lav mics. But that's all there is to this video. So if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below and I will do my best to get back to you. And otherwise, if you like this video or found it helpful, please do consider giving it a thumbs up, subscribe to see more in the future, and as always, thank you for watching.